Does it surprise you that hyaluronic acid is not in my skincare 101 of must-have ingredients? Hyaluronic acid is a hugely hyped ingredient, and I wanted to put it out there that for me, it is not an ingredient that I build skincare routines around. There, I've said it. Now, the things that hyaluronic acid promises to do that it can't do, let me tell you, there is an active ingredient that achieves those very same results. So stay tuned right to the end. I'm going to reveal which one that is. Now, I think hyaluronic acid has become sexy by association with dermal fillers, which use hyaluronic acid in a cross-linked format, meaning that stabilizes the hyaluronic acid so that it stays in the dermis, which is where hyaluronic acid to a large extent exists in our skin naturally, and it persists there for some time, hence giving dermal fillers their longevity. But the key thing is in the dermis. That is where hyaluronic acid has its magic, its ability to hold water. It's a humectant, meaning it attracts more than 1,000 times its own molecular weight in water, creating a gel-like substance. And it's essentially because of this repeating sugar molecule in its structure. It's a polymer of sugars, and together that attracts the water. So far, so good if it's in the dermis. However, when you apply it topically in a skincare ingredient, it's a completely different animal. Now first, let's think about the size of hyaluronic acid. Even in the low molecular weight format, it is still something of the order of 4,000 Daltons and greater. Don't even get me started on high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. So what does it even do then in the skin? So the one thing hyaluronic acid we know can do is to function as a moisturizing ingredient. And that is, as I said, by attracting water to it, just like glycerin does. However, the thing about hyaluronic acid, if it's formulated by itself or in the absence of other occlusive ingredients, is essentially it will steal water from your skin, making it evaporate into the air. Most of us don't live in an environment where the air is laden with water. I would love to live in Hawaii, but that's just not going to happen. So essentially, if there isn't a gradient whereby there's more water outside the skin than there is in the skin, the flow of water will be outwards. That is not what we're looking for. So what that ultimately translates to is a moisturizing ingredient, which is, fine, effective, just like glycerin, that is often formulated on its own or without other occlusive ingredients, meaning that it's not having a check on this ability for it to attract water. Hyaluronic acid has its place in a formula, I think, just like glycerin does, but it must be combined with those additional occlusive ingredients, things like mineral oil, shea, silicones, things that will trap the water as a sort of sealant effect. So when it comes to active ingredients, I think the whole conversation then becomes about what is giving you return on your investment. Serums are not an inexpensive part of your skincare investment, and I want you to have the best information available so you can make smart choices and get the most from your products, and certainly not spend money on things that are fairly redundant or might even be harmful. So I think we really do need to question the use of hyaluronic acid in the way it's currently being implemented in skincare. One approach has been to think about hydrolyzing the hyaluronic acid so it becomes smaller, into smaller fragments that might have better penetration into the skin. The worry there is that low molecular weight hyaluronic acid has the potential to be an inflammatory trigger in our skin. It's something that is revealed whenever there's cellular damage. It can bind to toll-like receptors and potentially unleash cytokines into our skin. So I think that at the end of the day, where it is helpful is as part of a formula, not relied upon in its own right by itself. Ultimately, what I want for you is to have return on your investment. Where can you spend your cash to get the best return? And I think that's particularly pertinent when we're talking about serums, where you're often making quite a significant investment. So for me, I think the problem is that hyaluronic acid serums promise something they cannot deliver. They cannot transform your skin and eradicate fine lines and plump them the way dermal fillers can. Ironically, retinoids can make your skin make more hyaluronic acid. It's part of what they do when they stimulate the fibroblast cells in the dermis. So if nothing else, I'd like you to take that away from this video. We can make the skin make more hyaluronic acid for itself if we stimulate it with the right active ingredients. And then it's in the right place. It's in the dermis. That's where we want the hyaluronic acid to be. So just a little word of caution, I suppose. Hyaluronic acid has its place as part of a hydration formula, but only when combined with occlusive ingredients, and in my view should not be used as a standalone preparation. So that brings Skincare 101 to an end. I've really enjoyed doing this series for you, and I hope for those of you who are starting out, it's given you a framework around which to choose some products, to get started, and to know that there are so many things that we can achieve with just skincare alone. So if you've got any questions for me, please leave them in the comments down below. And if you like this series, please hit subscribe to get more content just like this. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.